Hello everyone, my name is Sue and I'd like to welcome you to Chair Yoga for Seniors class number 1. I want to say hello to my students in Dayton, Ohio, and also to those of you who have found this on YouTube. Please visit my website, heartandsoultraining.com or silversneakers.com to find the location of where I teach. Also, to find out a little bit more about me, I have been teaching to the senior population for over 5 years. Before we get started, I just want to remind you to respect your limitations and be grateful for what you can do. If a doctor or physical therapist has advised you not to do something, then regardless of what I am doing, please do not do it. Also, listen to your body. There should never be any pain or discomfort when you are exercising. So if you start to feel this, please back off or stop immediately what you're doing. All right, let's go ahead and get started. You will want to have a sturdy chair and wear some shoes. Sneakers are fine. So we'll start by getting comfortable in our chair, and that would be extending your feet out in front of you, taking any tension out of the knees. Hands are resting in the lap, and then just close your eyes or even drop the gaze as we take a few moments to relax the body. Just making note as to how your body feels, noticing any areas of tension or tightness. And then we'll take 2 deep cleansing breaths. So take a nice big inhale through the nose and exhale it all out by blowing or sighing it out. And one more nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And then soften the muscles of the face. Relax the muscles of the neck and the shoulders. And then turning the attention to the breath. Notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. And then we'll begin a nice, even breathing, inhaling and exhaling to a count of 4. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. And just continue with this nice, even breathing. If by any chance this does make you lightheaded or dizzy, then just go back to your own normal breathing pattern. And we also set an intention for each practice, and that may be a benefit you would like to receive, or just an uplifting or a positive thought or phrase. So think of an intention for your practice today. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. And we'll go ahead and begin our warm-up by turning our heads to look out over that right shoulder and back to center, and turning to look out over the left and back to center, dropping the chin to the chest, and then picking the chin up towards the ceiling and jutting that lower jaw out so you feel a nice stretch in the front of the neck. And then coming back to center and dropping the right ear to the right shoulder and back to center and left ear to left shoulder and back to center. And then extending the hands out in front, we'll open and close the fingers. So basically we want to warm up all the joints before we come up to standing and get into our postures. And then some wrist circles and reverse. Good. And then extending the hands out in front again, palms facing forward. We're just going to do something called windshield wiper. So just working on those wrist joints, going back and forth. Good. And then bending the elbows, bring the arms alongside the body, and we're going to warm up the finger joints by pretending we're playing the piano. So just moving those fingers back and forth as if you're going along a piano, loosening up those finger joints. Good. And then coming back to center, resting the hands in the lap, walking your feet in a little bit so you sit up nice and tall. And then we'll pick our shoulders up and pull them back down. So doing some shrugs as we begin to warm up the shoulders. And then the next time you pick those shoulders up, we're going to roll them to the back. And once more. Good. And then taking the right hand, we're going to reach across the body, reaching up towards where the ceiling and the wall meet. Coming back down. Try it. The left arm across the body, same thing. Then we'll do the right, this time about shoulder height across and left. And then right arm goes down towards the floor. And then the left. And then we'll try that again. So right arm across the body up towards the ceiling and down, left. And then across about shoulder height. And right goes down towards the floor. Good. And then coming back to center, bringing the right arm alongside the body, making a loose fist, and extending that arm out in front of you, and then bring it all the way up. And I want you to gaze at your thumb while you bring that arm all the way around behind you and around. So get a nice, good range of motion here. And on the left, same thing. Extend that thumb up and bring it all the way around behind. Whoops, got my plant in the way, behind you. And then let's try it again. So right side comes up and around. Good. And same thing on the left. Just bring it up, follow that thumb all the way around. Good. And then sitting back nice and tall, extending the right leg, pointing and flexing the foot. And then some ankle circles. And reverse. Good. And let's try that on the left. Point and flex. Warming up those ankles. and ankle circles, and reverse. Good. Bringing that left leg down, and then coming back to the right leg, we're going to slide our right foot out. Keep your toes on the floor. Lift the right leg up so your thighs are even with one another. Then bend your knee and bring your foot back down. So slide, lift, bend, bring that foot down. Good. Couple more here. Good. And slide and lift. I have a squeaky chair, so I apologize for that. And then left leg. Slide, lift, bend, and down. And again. Good. Bend and down. Last one here. Slide that foot out, lift, bend, and down. Good. And then walking your hips to about midway in the chair, taking that right knee, stepping wide, and bringing it back to center. So wide, warming up the hip. Good. Couple more. Good. Last one here. And same thing on the left. Go step wide, back to center. Two more. Good. And coming back to center, and again, sitting up nice and tall, bringing the right arm alongside the body. If you'd like to hold on to the seat of your chair, then extending the left arm up, and to exhale as you bend to the right. And coming back to center, switch arms, inhale, and to exhale as you bend to the left. So we begin to warm up the spine. And coming back to center, then taking the left hand, place it on the right knee. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, keeping that back nice and tall. And then exhale, turning and looking to the right. So looking out over that right shoulder. And then coming back to center, right hand on the left knee. Inhale again to lengthen the spine. And exhale, turning and looking to the left. Good, and then releasing it back to center. And then we're going to come into another spinal warm-up called cat-cow. Now, there is a contraindication on the cat part of the movement, which is a rounding of the spine. So if you do have osteopenia or osteoporosis, just eliminate this rounding or the cat pose. We will start with cow pose, however, which is an arching of the back. So with an inhale, you'll bring the chest forward, lift the chest and chin. So you're arching the spine mainly through the thoracic spine or the middle part of the spine. And then with the exhale, either come into cat, which is that rounding, dropping the chin to the chest and rounding, or just bring the spine to neutral if, like I said, you have osteopenia or osteoporosis. Then with your inhale, come back to cow, and then exhale, either neutral or going into cat. So again, doing what's best for you. And once more, inhale to cow, and to exhale into cat or neutral. Good. And then coming back to center. So we're going to do a little warm up. This is so now we get the blood flowing, the muscles all warmed up before we come up to standing. So we're going to do a seated, what's called a sun salutation. I will show you the movement through the first time, and then we'll do it a number of times. It's very easy to catch on. So sitting up nice and tall, bring the arms alongside the body. With the inhale, sweep those arms up. With the exhale, bring the arms down, pick up that right knee and just hold on to it. Now keep your back straight so you're not rounding forward. This is what we call a little lunge. As you exhale, bring that right foot down. Then you're going to inhale, extend the arms out in front for what we call a seated plank pose. And then with the exhale, you're going to slide those hands in towards your armpits for chaturanga. And then with an inhale, hold on to the chair. We're going to do a little back bend. So lifting the chest and the chin. And then with the exhale, you're going to do, it looks like a seated jumping jack. We call this downward facing dog. And then with the inhale, we'll come back to our lunge, picking up the left knee. And exhale, bring that left foot down. And then inhale, sweep the arms up, palms together, and exhale, hands to the heart. So that's half of the first round. We're going to do that again. We'll start on the left side of the body. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, as arms come down, hug that left knee up. Exhale, left foot down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, pull those hands back for chaturanga. Inhale, hold on to the seat of the chair, lift the chin and chest for that back bend or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come back to the right knee up for the lunge. Exhale, down. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and exhale to the heart. All right, let's try that again. This time the right side. Inhale. Exhale, arms down. Pick that right knee up. Exhale, down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, that little back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, back to the left side on that lunge. Exhale, left foot down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale to the heart. All right, we go right into it on the left side. Inhale. Exhale, arms down, left knee up. Exhale, left foot down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Remember that little back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right side knee up. Exhale, down. Inhale, sweep those arms up. And exhale to the heart. Good. So hopefully you felt your heart rate maybe come up a little bit. You're warmed up a little bit more. So now we're going to come up to standing. So just walk those hips up to the edge of the chair, shift your weight into your feet, and come on up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my chair to the side, but you're going to walk around behind your chair. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see me if I kept my chair in front of me. So imagine I have my chair in front of me. The chair is here for support. So at any time, please keep a hand on the chair. So we're going to start by standing in a pose called Tadasana or mountain pose. It is the foundation of all the standing postures. So you want to have your feet or your legs hip width apart. Feet are parallel to one another. And we're going to find what's called the four corners of the foot or the feet. So I usually have people kind of get a sense of where that is by just shifting their weight forward onto the balls of the feet and back onto the heels. And as you do that a couple of times, I know it's hard in shoes, it's a little easier if you're in your bare feet, but just get a sense for where that is. And then you'll want to come back to the center, and that's where you'll distribute the weight. So as you stand here, you should be able to wiggle your toes. You don't have any weight in your toes. And then you're going to lift up through the arches, tighten the front of the thighs, which are the quadriceps. Arms are alongside the body, palms facing each other about 3 inches away from each other. And then you're going to lift and tighten the abdominals. You're going to focus on the spine. Imagine you have a string attached to your tailbone, running up the length of the spine all the way up to the ceiling, and somebody's pulling that string up. So lengthening up through the spine. Pick the shoulders up, roll them down the back. Good. And then keeping your chin parallel to the floor, gazing forward. And come back to that nice, even breathing that we did at the beginning of the class. And just take a couple of breaths here. And then we'll come into a couple of spinal movements. So with an inhale, sweep both arms all the way up. Keep your left arm up, pointing towards the ceiling. The right arm, as you exhale, bring alongside the body, and then bend to the right. Try not to collapse that left arm forward. And then inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, bring the left arm down as you bend to the left. And then inhale back to center. Bring that left arm up. Exhale, bring both arms down. And then we're going to do a little twist. And this is called elephant twist because your arms are going to be like trunks. I just want you to relax through your arms. Just twist from the waist and let your arms just swing side to side. Keep your knees soft. You don't want to lock your knee joints. And just loosen up that spine. Good. And then as you come back to center, we'll begin to warm up through the hips. So I want you to widen your stance. So when you're coming into the standing postures, I want you to be safe, but I want you to work as strongly as you can. So make sure if you need to, you've got a hand on the chair that's in front of you. You're imagining my chair is in front of me. So with your legs wide, I want you to bring your arms just up to shoulder height. So this pose is called star pose. So it gets us ready to warm up the hips before we go into warrior two. So take your hands, just place them right here in these what's called the leg creases, or right where your legs meet the trunk of your body. And then you're going to take your toes and you're going to turn them out a little bit. So we're going to come into a deep squat. The important thing here is that you keep your back straight. So take a nice big inhale to lengthen, and as you exhale, begin to bend your knees. The weight's going to go back a little bit in your hips, so my torso is actually angled, but I'm not rounding through my waist. My back stays perfectly straight, and by keeping your hands on those leg creases, that's where you're bending. So it kind of reminds you where to bend. And then we're going to hold here, come back to that nice even breathing. Good. And then with the inhale, go ahead and come on back up. And then we'll take that left foot, just bring your toes in a little bit so your foot is facing forward. And then the right foot, we're going to continue to turn out to the side. So your right foot will be at 90 degrees. And then imagine there's a line. If you were to draw a line from the heel of the right foot, it would come back and intersect the instep of the left foot. Then you're going to bend the right knee. Try to stack that knee right over the ankle and have it in line with about the second toe or so. I know, again, it's hard in your shoes. Make sure that you aren't leaning So you want to bring the torso up so it's in line with the pelvis. Now, you'll probably notice that left hip is angled a little bit to the right. That's fine. From the waist up, now you're going to face the front. And then with an inhale, bring those arms up just a little bit below shoulder height. And then you're going to turn to look out over that middle right finger. So this is a pose that we call Virabhadrasana 1 or 2 or Warrior 2. Now we're going to breathe, continue to breathe. Good. And then from Warrior 2, we're going to come into triangle pose. So with an inhale, straighten that right knee. As you exhale, you're going to shift the weight into the left hip and then lean to the right as far as you can. Try to keep the shoulders in line with one another. And then when you've gone as far as you can, bring that right hand down. It'll probably either be on your thigh or on your shin. And then extend that left arm up towards the ceiling. Again, you want to focus on that left shoulder and chest, keeping it open. You can either look up at your hand or just look forward. And then try tightening the front of that right thigh. Remember, we did that in our standing posture of Tadasana. That quadricep, that will help give you some stability. You may feel your kneecap being pulled up. That actually protects that knee joint. Good. And then with your next inhale, lift the torso. And to exhale, bring the arms down. Go ahead and take that right foot. You're going to now turn the right foot, so that's facing forward. And then the left foot, you'll turn out to that 90 degrees. Again, lining up now the left heel to the instep of the right foot. Bending the left knee. Again, stacking it right over the ankle. Good. Keeping the torso in line with the pelvis and then turning to the front. Bringing the arms up to shoulder height. Pull the shoulders down. And then with your exhale, turning to look out over that middle left finger. And continue to breathe. Good. And then with your inhale, straighten the left knee. So we're going to go into triangle. Exhale, shift the weight into the right hip and lean to the left as far as you can. When you've gone as far as you can, bring that hand down. Again, it might be here on your thigh, and that's okay, as long as you can keep that right shoulder and chest forward. Or if you're a little more flexible, maybe bringing that hand down to your shin, maybe even your ankle. But again, don't compromise through the shoulder or chest to do that. That's not important where your hand is. Tighten up the front of that left thigh, again, to give you some stability. You can either look up towards the ceiling or look forward, whatever is comfortable for your neck. And continue to breathe. And then with your inhale, go ahead and come on up, release the arms down, turn that left foot in, and then we'll do just a little heel toe to bring the feet together so you can step your feet together. All right, I'm gonna bring my chair back in, and we're going to do a little stretch. It's a standing downward facing dog. So you should be behind your chair anyway. So placing your hands on the chair, go ahead and begin to walk backwards. You're going to bend your knees. As you have your hands on the back of your chair, focus on your arms and up through your shoulders. So you want to extend those arms, pull the shoulders down the back, keeping a bend in the knee. See if you can begin to drop your chest down towards the floor, possibly bringing your head between your arms. And then everybody's going to be different, so depending on the flexibility in your hamstrings, possibly straightening the legs a little bit. If not, keep a bend in the knees. Again, we don't want to round through the spine. It's more important that your back stays straight. So that usually does mean that you have a little bend in the knees. Continue to breathe. Take a full breath here. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and bend those knees if they aren't already and walk yourself in towards the chair, coming back up to standing. All right, and then the last thing we're going to do is a balance posture. So now I would like you to come around the right side of the chair. We're going to come into tree pose. So again, the chair is there for you to hold on to. So we'll start by shifting the weight into the left leg. Hold on to the chair with the left hand if you need to. Then you're going to bend the right knee and take that knee out on the diagonal, maybe about 45 degrees. Now you have some options here depending on your strength and flexibility. So you're going to either slide this right foot in so that your right foot is resting on the left ankle, your right toes stay on the floor, or you can pick that right foot up, here's where holding on to the chair might be necessary, and just placing that right foot to the outside of the left calf. And then either bringing one hand to the heart center, maybe both if you're okay letting go of the chair. Find a gazing point out in front of you. Continue to breathe. I usually pause here for a moment. If you're okay here, then extending one, if you're holding on, it would be one arm up towards the ceiling, possibly both, as the branches of your tree. Keeping the abdominals tight, your standing leg tight. Continue to breathe. Good. And then as you exhale, bring those arms down, release the right leg, walk it out a little bit, or even just shake out that left leg. And then we'll come around the chair to the other side. And then same thing on this side. So shifting the weight over to the right leg. Sorry about that. Tightening that quadricep, holding on with the right hand. And same thing. Bending that left knee, taking it out at about a 45-degree angle. And then bringing the left foot over. Options are to keep the toes on the floor, your left foot up against the right ankle. And just bringing the hands to prayer, pausing here, or picking up that left foot, placing it to the outside of the right foot, and you may want to keep a hand on the chair here. And you'll notice one side is just going to be a little stronger balance-wise than the other. Good. Once you're okay here, you're welcome to stay here if you'd like, or you can extend one or both arms up as your branches. Good. Continue to breathe. And with your exhale, go ahead and release those arms down. Release your left leg, walk it out, or shake out that right leg. Good. All right, let's go ahead and come back to sitting in our chairs. And we have a couple of stretches that we're going to do. And then we'll take a few moments at the end for our final relaxation, or it's in Sanskrit, it is Savasana. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is a little core work. So I want you to walk those hips up again to about mid-chair, keeping the back nice and straight. We're going to do a little movement called a bird dog. So it's an opposite arm and leg. So we'll start by extending the right arm up and extending the left leg straight out. Keep those abs tight. Good. Exhale, coming down. Try it on the other side. Inhale, left arm up, right leg out. Good. Coming down, exchange or switch. Good. So right arm, left leg, down, left arm, right leg. Good. And down. Let's try it once more each side. Right arm, left leg. Good. Left arm, right leg. Good. And relax it out. So coming into another twist. This one a little deeper than the twist that we did in the warm-up. So options here, we're going to be crossing our legs. So here's one that if you've been told not to cross on the thighs like this, then just simply cross on the ankles. If you're okay to cross the thighs, then go ahead and do that. The left hand will either go on the right knee or the left knee. So if the ankles are crossed, just put your hand on the right knee. If your thighs are crossed, left hand on the left knee. Inhale, remember to lengthen the spine before we turn, and then turning to the right, looking out over that shoulder. So a little deeper twist than what we did in the beginning. Again, most of the twisting is from that mid-spine. Good. Inhale back to center and switch sides. So left leg, either you're going to cross on the thigh or you're going to cross over the right foot, crossing the ankles. Right hand will go on either the left knee or the right knee if the thighs are crossed. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale. Again, now turning and looking to the left. Remember to breathe. Good. And then coming back to center, releasing the twist. Uncrossing the legs. And then we're going to do our little hip walk. So just picking up one hip and then the other as you work your way to the edge of the chair. So we're going to come into a hamstring stretch. So this is where you're really going to pay attention to what your body feels like. We're going to keep the left knee bent, and you're going to extend the right leg, and this is, you'll have to position yourself in the best place for this, usually pretty close to the edge of the chair. Have your right heel on the floor, toes are pointing up. And then you want to feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg, especially through the back of the knee. Now, if you may be feeling a good stretch right here, so then I want you to stay here. If you're a little more flexible and want to deepen the stretch, then inhale to lengthen. Remember those leg creases we talked about earlier? So you're going to bend from there, keep the back straight, and just bring the chest forward a little bit, just maybe about an inch or two, and you should feel a deepening in that stretch. So this is where you're going to listen to your body. Just feel a nice deep stretch. There shouldn't be any discomfort, straining, pain, anything like that. Immediately back off. And continue to breathe. Good. And then inhale, coming back to center and switching legs. And you may notice that one side, again, may be a little more flexible than the other. That's perfectly normal. And then inhale to lengthen. If you would like to deepen the stretch, as you exhale, bend from the leg crease, keeping the back straight. Just think of bringing the chest forward wherever you need to be. So you feel that stretch in the back of the thigh, possibly even into the calf. And breathe. Good. And then with the inhale, go ahead and lift the torso. Bring that left foot back in. Sitting about midway in the chair, we're going to do a little hip opener. So again, there may be some contraindications for you here. We are going to cross the foot this time over possibly the thigh or the ankle. So if you're okay crossing on the thigh, we're going to cross here. This might be too much if you've had a hip replacement or have hip, aren't real flexible in the hip. So what you're going to do is cross the right foot over the left ankle and just open up that right knee. Again, I usually find sitting on the end of the chair gives me a little more room to open up that right knee. So we want to stretch through your gluteus maximus, or your cheeks in the back, opening them up a little bit. So you're either here, or if you're all right to cross on the ankle, or on the thigh, then go ahead and cross here. Again, you should just be feeling a deep stretch. There shouldn't be any straining or pain. And breathe. Good. And then inhale as you lift the torso. Go ahead and uncross that right leg. We'll try it on this other side. So again, either crossing the left foot over the right ankle and opening up that left knee, or if you're okay here, to cross the left foot over the right thigh. So whatever is best for you, continue to breathe. Good, and then releasing the stretch, bringing that left leg down. So we're going to take a few minutes for a final relaxation. What I will do is I will lead you into it. The video will end in a few minutes, but you are welcome to stay as long as you'd like. Again, I would like to thank you so much for joining me. I'll also be posting a mat yoga class if you know someone, or if you're okay getting up and down off the mat, so look for that too. All right, so doing our little hip walk now to the very back of the chair so you can relax your back. And then coming back into that comfortable position we had at the beginning of the class, extending your feet out in front of you, resting the hands in the lap, and closing the eyes. And we'll turn the attention inward, back to the breath. Again, notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. And after your next inhale, begin to lengthen the exhale. And continue lengthening each exhale until they become about twice as long as the inhale. And then focus on the physical body, relaxing all the muscles from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Release any tension or tightness. And then focus on the mind. Release any thoughts, worries, or anxieties. Imagine yourself in a place that brings you peace. And give yourself just a few moments to completely let go. Feel free to stay here for as long as you'd like. We say namaste, which means the light in me honors and respects the light in you. Namaste.